Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. ISRO has created history again and has successfully completed its first ever satellite docking maneuver, marking a monumental achievement for the country's space exploration efforts. After its launch on the 30th of December, ISRO had to abort the mission thrice, having brought the two spacecrafts to 3 meters and then placing them back. Today, finally, the docking has been initiated with precision, leading to a successful spacecraft capture. This has made India the fourth country to achieve this successful space docking after United States, Russia and China. Now undocking and power transfer checks will follow in the coming days. This technology will be crucial for missions like Chandrayaan-4, which is likely to send humans to the moon, and also India's plans to establish an international space station. Suresh Naik, former ISRO scientist, is joining us live. We also have Group Captain V.N. Jha, senior scientist, live with us. Suresh Naik, let me begin with you first. What do you make of this big feat by ISRO? How big a moment is it for our premier space agency?
Sorry, I didn't get the question very clearly. What you said? Now, my audio is...
Suresh Naik, can you hear me?
Let me hear. Yeah, now I can hear, I think.
Okay, I think we're having some connection issues with Suresh Naik. Group Captain Jha, why don't you come in on what you believe makes this feat special?
Absolutely, it is very, very special. India is the fourth nation to have achieved this. This is itself is a big feat, and compliments to ISRO for this, compliments to the ISRO scientists for it, and especially when the things were adverse. They have certainly had a bit of hiccups in the entire exercise, entire mission. But then कहते हैं ना कि देर आए दुरुस्त आए. It's a compliment. It's a big achievement for them. However, if I was the project director of this program director, I would have learned some of the lessons here that possibly needs a more relook into the entire mission than a patch up. Look, rendezvous has gone slightly hayward. It has not gone the way it was planned there. Whether it is the rendezvous sensors or the control system, surely the ISRO had planned the exercise of rendezvous from 300 odd meters, but then the spacecraft drifted to about 3 kilometers. Fair enough, 3 kilometers is still manageable. But when we send the supply to either the Bharat space mission, Bharat space station, or the moon has got it. There I have got a big distance. That is not the 300 meters. There I go from here and look for 500 meters above, 500 kilometers above the Earth, and the spacecraft has to go to that 500 meters above, 500 kilometers above the Earth, dock with the Bharat space station. That's a huge distance. And if I have felt the hiccups here in the 300 meters planned distance, I am certainly going to have a relook onto that 500 kilometers of the distance of separation. That is how it is to be there. Look, even today, SpaceX has got plenty of exercise, plenty of experience onto this. Still, they take anything from 3 days to 5 days to dock their spacecraft. They call it Dragon, whether the Crew Dragon or the Supply Dragon. It takes that much of time. And in case if it is going to drift, in case if it is going to take a sort of problems what ISRO has had in this particular mission, surely the entire logic of the program should have a relook. I understand that in this particular small spacecraft they only had the 2 motors. Fair enough. With the 2 motors, if they are confident that they can manage, they have to certainly develop a better logic, better sensor that will give them the precision of closing into it. So that is one aspect. Secondly, even the docking, after the spacecraft was brought to 3 meters separation from the target, say 3 days back or 4 days back, it has taken so much of a long time to decide whether it should go and close into it or not. So certainly it is a success for the ISRO. Fair enough, that's fine. But certainly, in case if they are trying to have a application of the same or similar technology into the Bharat space station in the future or Chandrayaan-4 in the future, surely they will have to have a relook into the entire logic. That is what is my feeling. But all said and done, this was the first time that India has had. Congratulations to India and ISRO for putting the India in the fourth list of the docking the space, and that is how it is there to be. This particular SpaceX has got a success, and so has got that. There was a robotic arm also sent in the space, which had to exercise, do the maneuvers, do the things, driving at the for a small object. Even that is a success in a limited way. So compliment to ISRO that the entire exercise has been a very good success, and compliments to both ISRO and India for being the fourth in the space race. That is how it is going to be there, Uday.
Absolutely. Let me quickly draw back in Suresh Naik now. Suresh Naik, the significance of this move, the feat for ISRO, how historic is it, not just for India, but for the world? And also, which direction now this heads our space exploration mission?
Yeah, actually, first of all, I would like to salute ISRO scientists for successfully completing this space docking experiment in the first attempt itself. It was particularly more challenging because our two spacecrafts to be docked were of smaller size and mass compared to other countries have tried earlier in their first or second experiment. And the smaller size of aircraft requires even more challenging precision, finer precision for the rendezvous and docking maneuvers compared to docking two large satellites. So that I think makes it more complex. I don't want to repeat the things earlier which have been said about its uses, but I would like to add, there are some fascinating potential uses of this experiment which India has successfully now completed. Now, first thing is, of course, reduced launch costs because we use smaller satellites, smaller launch vehicles, and definitely that makes a lot of difference in the cost. Secondly, what happens is extending the lifespan of the existing satellites and mitigation of debris, because the debris is created after the this life of the satellite is over, right? If it is, let us say, 3 years, and after 3 years it becomes debris, and this problem has become serious in the world scenario, and every country is now extending and focusing on this mission also, and how it is going to add mitigation of debris, because in orbit servicing, in space docking allows for the refueling and repairing and upgrading of satellites in orbit. You see, this is an extremely important application. So far, nobody has talked about it, because what happens is, supposing one of the satellites of the Indian country is approaching the retirement, then India can send a satellite just for refueling mission, right? That satellite can go, and like we go to petrol pumps on the earth to refill the petrol in our cars, we can refill the fuel in the satellites which are orbiting. And if it is 3 years designed service life, then we can make it 5 years, 6 years. So that way, number of satellites which will be launched in space will be reduced. And secondly, supposing if some of the components are really giving trouble in the existing satellite which is orbiting around Earth, then we can send a mission which will dock with that particular thing and replace or upgrade the entire spacecraft, reducing need for building entirely new ones. And second thing is, the payload capacity, assembling larger spacecraft in orbit, like Bharatiya space station, right? This, of course, has been already mentioned, and this is a very important achievement And thirdly, what I would like to say is we are talking about landing the human being Indian on moon, but we should remember that it has got a huge potential in future. Every country is trying to build a human colony on the moon, and from there they are aiming to go to Mars. Okay, because taking a rocket off from moon is much cheaper because moon's gravity is only one third that of earth, and you require much less fuel, and fuel is the most expensive element in the launch vehicle. So that way we have got lot of potential now to plan for our future. So we have to look at the complete potential scenario about this SpaceX mission, and I would say it is a crucial and groundbreaking technology, cutting edge technology, which ISRO and India has developed now, and the credit is entirely indigenous. And ISRO scientists have worked on it for the last 10 years. That is how they could achieve this. And can we forget, they were so cautious not to meet the mission time. They waited for almost 1 week more. There were two postponements in docking. They came to 3 meter, went back again to 15 meter. They again came to 3 meter. Why did they do that? The reason behind that is, already satellite has been fed with certain logarithms. That is, you can say software and programming. Now that is meant for actually during the docking operation, let us say, autonomous docking operation, when actually the satellite start approaching at 15 meter, from 15 meter to 3 meter, they really take the satellite that close and then refine their software and the programming, that they get a real-time data, actual live data, and that comes to ISRO's Earth station. Then they verify where it needs to be modified, and again after modification that data is fed into the satellite. That is how they made doubly, triply sure that docking will not fail. You see, kudos to ISRO for achieving this mission in a precise way and like a textbook success, I would say. I don't
Yes,
care
Group Captain
about...
Jha, why do you believe SpaceX is a game changer for space exploration and for India's space missions going forward?
Yeah, space station.
Group Captain Jha.
Yeah. See, what is going to happen is, any time that you need a docking procedure to happen, the previously sent satellite is something what doesn't have the provision for docking. That interface is not there. So you can do nothing about those satellites.